Hello, this is Punisher Snake coming at you from, well, honestly, we'll get to that. I am making this video because I'm trying to get back into streaming video games and stuff on YouTube, just, while I talk. Tried to do this the other day and it didn't really work too well, to be honest. It kind of sucked. There was a problem with the microphone. It's probably not all that great now either, but we'll see what it is. Not that it really matters. Nobody's gonna watch this anyways. I'm just kind of doing this to keep myself sane at this point. But anyways, I was gonna talk a little bit about where I've been and what I've been doing and everything. Mostly suffering, honestly. I'm not saying that like what you call it hyperbolically or whatever. I'm actually, yeah, I was in the hospital for almost 2 years. I got non-necrotizing fasciitis on my right leg, and it ate off all the skin on. I mean, it is like it looks like a radiation burn if anybody's ever seen that. And that's not even the worst part. My life is basically over, to be honest. I'm shut down. I don't have really much emotions. I hallucinate all the time. I lose time. Yeah, that's a fun one. Or literally you just be sitting there watching a movie or playing a video game, and then all of a sudden it's not like you get carried away and you get like stuck in whatever you're doing. And then time passes. Oh crap, I played this game for like 4 hours. Oh no. No, it literally snaps. Like your brain's not recording that time. It snaps to literally like a few hours later. I lost a whole fucking day one time, part of my language. But anyways, so I've had this wound on my leg. I've had it for years, like probably about 7 years or so. And about 2 years ago, it started to get worse. I got to the point where I couldn't walk without a cane. You know, my mom actually got cancer, so I had to take care of her. Um, when they diagnosed her, after that, she only lasted for about 8 months. I mean, she passed away. She I took care of her as much as I could. I I helped her eat. I fed her. I did everything I could for her. And then I go in there one morning and check on her, and she won't wake up, no matter what. I'm like, Mom, wake up, and I shake her gently, and I shake her a little bit harder, and she just won't wake up. She's breathing raggedly, and I have to call the ambulance, 911 to come and get her because I'm not a doctor, far from it, to be honest. But as they were taking her out, I thought this. Well, honestly, looking back at it, I knew what was happening. I'm not stupid, but I told her, "It's okay, Mom. It's okay. They'll take you to the hospital and they'll give you some medicines and make you better, and I'll see you later. I'll see you soon, okay?" She died that morning, actually, the morning after that. Passed away alone in a fucking hospital bed with nobody she knew around her. Because we didn't have a car at the time. Yeah, no. It's messed up, ain't it? After that, I gave up. I'll admit it. I'm not proud of it, but I gave up. Completely and utterly gave up. My leg was getting worse. I felt, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to die soon anyway, so let's do this. Let's just sit in this goddamn chair and literally just give up. Fuck it. It hurt so bad to stand at that point. I was literally, even when I was taking care of Mom, my leg got so bad that I would just grit my teeth and bear the pain to move, to help her. The doctors at this point didn't even know what the hell was going on. I mean, literally, I went to wound care every week, and they did biopsies after biopsies after biopsies, wound cultures. They couldn't figure it out. They literally, it was just like, I don't know why they couldn't figure it out, but they just couldn't figure it out. But yeah, mom's gone. I'm broken. I have a roommate. He's a really good guy. I am not going to mention his name because I'm not sure he'd want me to. You know, out of respect. I understand why. But anyways, he helped me. He he helped me. Like basically survive those 6 months. I got to the point where I couldn't walk, I couldn't stand, and then I got to the point where I couldn't change my own bandage because every time I bent over, I couldn't breathe. There was a story to that. We'll get to it soon. But yeah, there was one night where he was helping me change my bandages on my leg, and all of a sudden, I mean, I could stand like just to lift up and move to another chair before this, you know, because we didn't never use my chair to change the bandage because it get blood and gook and garbage all over. You know what I mean? Yeah, we didn't you know no no. But I literally couldn't stand at this point. I mean, literally, my legs are just like paper or you know, like they just folded under me. You know, I was like, I can't stand, Sam. It's like, what do you mean? He's like, I said his name. Oh well, whatever, it don't matter. He's like, I was like, I can't stand, man. You know, and he literally, he's a big guy, like 6'6", like he's a pretty big. He's a lot taller than I am. Anyways, he lifted me up and set me in the chair, and all of a sudden, the moment he set me in that chair, I couldn't breathe. I mean, it felt like somebody was literally had their hands in my lungs and was holding my lungs open. I couldn't breathe. I mean, literally, I was like, you know, gasping for air and whatnot. So he's like, I'm gonna call the ambulance. You need help, and I'm like, no. You know, I'm like gasping for air between these. And then I'm like, no, 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 I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm just riding it out. Just riding it out. I was not fine. He saved my life that night. Calls. He called the ambulance, and they took one look at me, and were like, "You're coming to the hospital." They didn't give me a choice. They said that I was pale, and I was like, my lips were turning blue, and I was like, I was fucked. Honestly, it turned out I had massive blood clots in my lungs and in my legs from not moving much for that 6 month period. You know, turns out the human body doesn't like it when you sit on your ass for a long period of time. Yeah, who knew? Right? I knew. I totally knew that. But yeah. So also I had sepsis in my wound. Sepsis and a really really bad infection. My temperature was like 103. Maybe at one point I'm pretty sure I'd have to look up the medical records I got they gave me. Pretty sure it got a little bit higher than that too at one point. But anyways, I'm like half out of it, hallucinating, like literally like some of the worst shit known possible, which I'm never going to talk about because Jesus Christ, you don't. No, 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 no. I don't want to come off like a total psychopath. But so yeah, the doctor talked to me. First, they put me in this like breathing respirator thing. It went all over my face. It was like a clear version of a Darth Vader mask. It was highly uncomfortable, but it actually helped me breathe. I mean, I could breathe with it on. Not without it. I had that fucking thing on for about 3 4 days. Pumped me with so much antibiotics. It was like horrible. I mean, oh man, powerful ones. You know. Yeah. Um. But so yeah, they're looking at my wounds and they're like, it's infected really bad, really bad. So I told them do what they can. You know, I was half out of it, so I don't think it really. I might have not have even like I was probably probably like not making much sense when I when I talked, but Turns out I had this black necrotic hole in the back of my leg, right? It was like it was gross. They showed me pictures of it later. It was very very bad. It looked like basically like a indented hole where with black skin, actual black necrotic skin around it, and they had to cut it out. They gave me something. I'm pretty sure it was like fentanyl or something, but they gave me something that I was laying there on the operating table right before they gave me the anesthesia to knock me out. And I'm not kidding. Yeah, ever anybody who's probably not watching this, who's watching this, whatever, ever seen the movie Terminator 2? Yeah, well, the way the T-1000 Morrison like can turn into liquid metal and stuff, they had this like light slash mirror right above the operating table. Ever been in an operating room? You know what I'm talking about. And that thing started to melt, and it started to frickin' like you know like merge and come towards me, and then I was out. Like anesthesia hit, you know. And whew, highest I've ever been, hands down. Well, besides like back when I was a kid, back when I was younger. That's a story for another day, though. It's also not a good one. Um, but yeah, they did the surgery. They cut holes in me. They cut skin. They did debriding. They cut the necrotizing flesh away. I woke up and they said you're gonna have to lose your leg. The infection is spreading and we don't know what it is. We're gonna have to. It's called oh shit, articulate. Yeah, they're gonna have to take my leg off, my right leg off at the hip. So I'm like, at this point, I'm in so much pain. I'm like, do it. I'm like, do it. Take it. Take the fucking leg. Take the fucking leg off right now. I'll sign whatever forms you want. Just. I don't even care if I even said this. I was like, I don't even care if I survive the surgery. Just take the fucking leg. And the doctor's like, we can't do it here because we're in the city I live. The hospital sucks. By the way, I'm not going to mention what hospital it was, but the hospital sucks. I'll admit. They were like, well, we're going to have to switch you out to another facility. And yeah, so they do the paperwork, and I'm in the hospital for months at this point, like about 2 months. And they transport me over. It's pretty far too. It's in another, what you call it, in another state. Anyways, so I get there, and the third or fourth day, they were getting ready to set up the surgery to take my leg off, and it was literally about 2 days before they were going to take my leg off. The doctor comes in, and he's all like, "I can save your leg." It's like you have non-necrotizing fasciitis. We got to get the infection down with massive amounts of antibiotics. It's highly resilient to antibiotics, so we have to hit it with like really powerful stuff. And that stuff had so many side effects. Oh man, you have no idea. Oh man, couldn't sleep. Freaking stomach always messed up. Headaches. Feeling thirsty all the time. I mean, it was some weird crap. But I let them do it. I mean, they injected me with so much medications that it was like insane. He's like, I can save your leg, and of course I am, and like I think anybody would have made this choice, honestly. I said, go for it. If you can save it, that would be cool. I would like to keep my leg. I should have just told him to amputate the motherfucker. It's all downhill from there. My story is not a good story. It's not a happy story. It's tragically bad, and it's gonna have a bad ending too. The end isn't here yet, but I can feel it coming. Honestly, I'm not like going. I'm not saying that I'm suicidal or nothing. That's not what I'm talking about. But I can feel it coming. Honestly, in my bones. I know. Anyways, back to my story. So I I could save your leg. And yeah, we hit it with all kinds of antibiotics. The infection recedes. My leg is saved. Hallelujah, brother, right? Hallelujah. Go tell it on the mountain and all that bullshit, right? There's a problem, though. I still have no skin on my leg. I mean, literally, it's gone. It is horrible. It looks like a radiation burn. That's what it looks like. It looks like a burn. You know, like you get really bad burned. Yeah, it looks like a burn. It feels like a burn, to be honest. So they're like, well, we need to do allografts. You know, we got to put allografts on your leg. And I didn't know this at the time, but allografts are donor skin. It's dead skin. Yeah, they put dead skin, like you know, donor skin on my legs, on my leg. Guess what? Guess what? It didn't take. I mean, of fucking course it didn't take, right? Yeah, that'd be too easy, wouldn't it? But yeah. Anyways, where are we at? Oh yeah, the donor skin, the allografts. So they put the donor skin on my legs, and then they shipped me back to that same hospital that they shipped me there to amputate my leg, to where I'm supposed to, like, you know, get wound care and recovery and all this crap, right? Well, I get an infection again. Dum 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 dum. And non-necrotizing fasciitis has returned. Round two. The allografts fall off. Now the next doctor I'm talking to is actually a really good guy. He knows what he's talking about, and he actually probably helped me the most. He didn't succeed, but it wasn't his fault. It was just my body being my body. You know what I mean? But yeah, he was like, most allografts do fall off. We just tested it to see if it would bond with your, you know, with your skin, you know, with what little skin you have left, and now we know it don't. And he's like, we can do skin grafts or we can try allografts one more time. And I was terrified of the skin grafts, you know, because I heard they're really painful. Spoiler warning, they are. It's the most painful thing in the universe, and I've been through a lot of pain in my life, to be honest. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Most painful thing in the universe, hands down. So we do the allografts, and again, and they don't take. They fall off. So the doctor's like, well, I'm going to debride it as much as I can. This is my like third or fourth surgery. I'm losing count here. You know what I mean? Yeah, but the doctor's like, I'm going to debride it as best I can, and we'll go from there. We'll weigh our options after I get all that infection and dead flesh off of it again. So um, he actually leaves the hospital. You know, he's not working there anymore after that surgery, right? It sucks too because I really like the guy. I really like that guy. He was pretty cool. But yeah, he left, gone, bye bye. Now the next doctor I got forced upon, I should say, was a complete and utter piece of shit robot. I would ask him a question, and unlike that first doctor or that second doctor or whatever, you know, the one that I said was good, he would turn to his freaking nurse and answer the question, and she would have to tell me because he wouldn't talk to me no matter what. What kind of fucking piece of shit does that to a patient they're supposed to be helping? Huh? Have you ever heard anything like that in your entire life? It happened. Oh, yeah, it happened. Um, so he's like, we're going to do skin grafts. I'm, I'm a army doctor, retired army doctor. We're going to do skin grafts. I'm like, okay, hey, tell me the deal with the skin grafts. Is it gonna hurt? And he just looked at me. He looked me dead in the fucking eyes and said, yeah, it's gonna hurt a little bit. A little bit. A fucking little bit. Did you hear that? Did you hear it? Because I heard it. That was a goddamn lie. That was literally a goddamn lie. It was no little bit. So they take me in for surgery. I'm laying there on the bed, high as a motherfucker, of course, because they give you something that just calms you down so you don't, like, have a panic attack or something. I don't know. And then they gas me out. They knock me out. I'm gone. I'm literally gone. Hallelujah. That's it. Game over. Game over. You know, it took them almost 8 freaking hours to do my skin graft surgery. Literally 8, almost 8 freaking hours, right? I woke up. I didn't remember the entire day. The 24 hour, I haven't literally have a gap in my memory for 24 hours, right? I woke up in the most excruciating pain of all time. I'm like, oh fuck, what is going on? Why is my left leg hurting? Because I didn't remember signing up. I didn't remember giving them the okay for the what you call it for the skin grafts. So I'm just like, what the fuck is going on? Why is my fucking leg hurting? And it took about, I don't know, about 6 or 7 hours for memories to come back. And I was like, oh yeah, well, he lied. He's a piece of shit. My leg is on fire. It hurts worse than my right leg, and that's saying something because my right leg blows. But yeah, so skin graft surgery, wound care, wound care, wound care, wound care. The first time they actually took the bandages off of the leg, they cut the skin off of mine, was the most excruciating pain I have ever felt in my entire life. And remember, I have no skin on my, I actually have felt my skin get eaten off slowly over a process of a fucking like 6 years or so. You know what I mean? 5 or 6 years. 'Cause this was about 2 years ago, so yeah. And they keep me in a hospital for a little bit longer, right? Then they sent me to this rehab place. Actually, no, 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 not first. They just sent me straight home. Yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'm jumping the gun there a bit. Oh, that sucked. First, they just sent me home, you know. So I'm literally like, just, wow, I'm sucking right now. Yeah, they sent me home, and then they sent wound care to come out and check on me every couple of days, change the bandages, make sure everything was okay and I wasn't getting another infection. The first time the wound care lady, now she was actually really good at her job. There's a lot of people in this industry that are not good at their jobs and they should never work with patients. I'll admit it. I've experienced a fuck ton of these people. But this lady was actually good at her job. She actually tried. So she takes the bandage off, and that skin, that perfect skin that dude wanted me, that ripped off of my leg. Um, yeah, about that. It slushed off when the bandage came off. She didn't pull hard. She was extremely gentle, but it literally slushed off my leg like it was like I don't know how to explain it. It was gross. I mean, I can actually hear you know what I mean? And I felt every single millimeter of that as it pulled and ripped and slushed off my leg. And she's all like, holy shit, you have to get back to the hospital and you have to do it right now. It's like, this is way too bad of a wound for wound care to take care of. You need chronic care. So, anyways, we go back to the hospital. Yep, yep. That same doctor's there. Yep, yep. He decides, hey, you need more skin grafts. So what's he do? He cuts the back of my left leg off, you know, cuts skin off the back of my leg, and this is the kicker right here. This one is the chef's kiss. He decides in his infinite wisdom to take skin off of my lower right leg. The little bitty pieces of skin I have on my right leg, it's on the near my ankle. He decides to take that off too. You know, the same leg that is still it definitely was still infected with non-necrotizing fasciitis. Yeah, he decided to cut a big chunk out of that. It wasn't really a big chunk because there wasn't much skin there to begin with. But you know, so yeah, okay, you know, more wound care, more agony, more suffering, more bullshit. The This is my fifth surgery at this point, right? It doesn't take. The skin falls off. If you ever have to get skin grafts, you tell them to go fuck themselves and do something else. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's actually like the basic thing for burns. I don't care if they say this is your only hope. You tell them to go fuck themselves because it's nothing. It is literally the reason why I cannot walk. Because I didn't have any. I mean, I have osteochondromatosis. It's a bone disorder. It's basically like knots in your joints. And I have them in my knees. I forgot to tell you that one part about when I was in that other hospital. But let me finish my story here, and I'll back up a little bit. But yeah, I'm on what you call it, osteochondroma. It's a bone disorder. It's a genetic. It's hereditary. It is really rare, but it's also a product of incest. Not my mom and my dad. They weren't related at all, and not her mom and her dad, but somebody in their line was a little bit too close on the family level, and it fucked the genetics up big time. And so I get the gift of osteochondromatosis. Anyways, I before it got really really bad, that whole 6 month period I was telling you about. Well, I was changing the bandage one night. This was right before I lost the ability to do it by myself. You know, I could still sort of like move around just a tad, just a little bit. It was agony, suffering, pain. Holy shit, this sucks. It took me about 2.5 hours just to change the bandage by myself. But anyways, I'm taking the bandage off of my leg, and I get to the part where I'm unwrapping it around my knee, and the osteochondromatosis part, the bone that it's basically a calcium deposit attached to your bone. I could see it. I could actually see it through my skin where the skin had ate off so much. And I'm like, what the fuck is that? I knew what it was, but it freaked me out. It was like, holy crap. It's like, holy fucking crap. You know what I mean? Because it's under a decent amount of layers of skin. I should not be able to see that. But yeah. So when I was in that other hospital, and my story's kind of disjointed. I should have said this earlier. I'm sorry. When I was in that other hospital, the doctor was like, "Well, we got to cut that bone. That osteochondromatosis is not out because it's actually got the non-necrotizing fasciitis in it too." So I'm like, "Okay, well, go ahead. If you think it's going to help my leg, go ahead." So, so that would have been my fifth. That would have been my fourth surgery. So overall, I had six surgeries, and I'm probably have more. I don't know for a fact, but I've been trying to see if they'll just amputate my leg, both of them, to be honest at this point. But yeah. Anyways, they put me in this. They knock me out again, get me high, knock me out again, and I wake up. And yeah, the right side of my right leg, where the knee is hurting pretty bad. Of course it is. I just got a piece of my bone cut out, right? Uh, but the back of my leg is also on fire, like horrible pain. Like we're talking like, holy crap, what the fuck is that? So they do wound care on me, and it turns out they actually took two osteochondromatosis knots out of me. One was literally the one, the one on the side of it, the little one. It basically had a hole in my leg about the size of your finger. But the one in the back of my leg, you could literally, and I am not exaggerating, I have the pictures to prove it. You could literally take your entire fucking hand and stick your hand inside my leg, all your fingers until your fingers were gone inside my leg. That is how deep they cut me. They cut. I mean, I'm like, oh fuck, I'm fucked. I am fucked, right? They had to, it was a deep, the osteochondromatosis spot in there. It was really deep. But they didn't tell me they were going to do that. So after, I heal up from that. Yeah, that healed. That fucking healed. I don't even have a fucking hole there now. But yet the skin on the top of my leg won't heal. I mean, explain that one to me, right? But yeah, I'm gonna wrap this story up after this. I'll play one more stage and talk to you, and then I'm gonna wrap it up. See if the video takes. The video takes. I might make more. I might not. I don't know. I'm broken as a person, so don't expect much. I know nobody's gonna watch this anyways. I don't blame them, to be honest. I wouldn't watch it. I'm just doing this to try to keep some kind of similar sanity, you know. Um, but anyways, let's start this. So another skin graft surgery down, didn't take. They put me in a rehabilitation center because literally they basically are done with me, and they literally they don't know what the hell to do. I mean, literally they just don't have any idea what to do. They can't help me. Nobody can. So after a couple months of that, I go home. I get sick again. Go back to the hospital. They put me in a different uh, rehabilitation center. That one was good, or that one was fine. I would have wished I could still have stayed there, honestly. Months go by, and then I finally go home again. And now I'm laying here in a bed, in a cage, not being able to walk, not being able to get out of the bed, literally helpless without my roommate. I am fucked. I can't get up to feed myself. I can't even get up to take a fucking shit. To be honest, you know, I'm miserable. My mental state is falling apart. Everything's falling apart at this point, honestly. Yeah, they diagnosed me with. I knew I had it already because I'm not stupid. But when I was in that second rehabilitation center, I requested some mental help because I've always been a little bit funky. I've always been a little bit fucked, and they diagnosed me with borderline personality disorder and chronic or what they call clinical depression. Also, I'm antisocial and I do not like people. And the psychiatrist lady, I talked to her a lot. I talked to her like about 10, 15 times or whatever. But she was like, I can't help you. It's like borderline personality disorder. There's not really much medications you can actually give. There's not. I mean, it doesn't work. You know, they could treat my anxiety, my panic attacks. They could treat my depression pretty much, but that borderline personality disorder, the core of my problem, the only way to treat that is by therapy. Lots and lots and lots of therapy. You're talking. And she's like, that's not going to work for you. You're antisocial and you don't like talking to people at all. And I'm like, no, I do not. It's like the only reason I was talking to her. I even said this. It's like the only reason I was talking to you is because I was kind of curious, see if you could help me. And she's like, I'm sorry, but I can't. You need like chronic help. You need literal years of therapy. So I'm like, well, whatever. It's like I'll just be the emotionless robot I am now. I had a severe panic attack today. This is kind of one of the reasons why I wanted to do this tonight. Severe panic attack today, and I basically shut down completely afterwards. A fucking robot, and I'm not exaggerating when I tell you this. My emotions bottomed out. What little emotions I have to begin with, because I don't really feel emotions all that much, anyways. I mean, they're there, but they're like how to explain it? It's like literally if you're playing a radio and you turn the music down and you just hear the music like a little bit like silently in your head, in your ears. Well, that's how my emotions work, you know. And then sometimes you crank the volume and they're out of control and they get so loud. They get so loud. Um, but yeah, right now I'm just kind of meh. No, I mean, I'm depressed always. I don't want to talk about my mental state right now. Just giving you a little bit of what's I'm going on here. But I would like to say it's all good. I'll be okay. But I don't think any of us are going to be okay, to be honest. The way the world's going now, humanity has lived too long. Oh, that's another story for another day. My views on reality and shit. I don't know if I'll ever talk about that to 100%. Make me sound like a psychopath. Maybe I am crazy. I definitely am crazy, but maybe I am a psychopath. Who knows? I doubt it. I think I'm just a sociopath, to be honest. I don't like people. I'll just say that. I really don't like people. But anyways, um, the story's about done for now. Part one of it. I just need. I just want to get better. I mean, I don't. I know for a fact it's been too long, and I'm never gonna walk again, and that's okay. How about a wheelchair? How about anything that gets me out of this fucking bed that literally makes my legs heal up so I'm not fucking in agony all the goddamn fucking time. That's all I want. Close the open wounds. Stop the burning in my fucking legs. Give me a goddamn chance to focus on my mental health and maybe before this world goes to complete and utter dog shit, live just a little bit. That's all I ask. But I'm asking too much. I'm asking too much out of life. I know I am. It's all good. Yeah, if this video turns out somewhat pliable, somewhat decent, somewhat like just the sound is the problem, I will continue to post these. Might get a rant or two from me here and there. Might get, other gameplay. I might even like branch out to long plays and shit. I don't know. I'm not trying to make a career out of this. I don't give a flying fuck about that. I mean, you want to watch a person with a fucking personality. I highly recommend you go watch Markiplier or somebody like that. Megan, yeah, she's cool. Somebody like that. Those people will entertain you. I'm here just to vomit bullshit and literally try to stay as sane as I can. That's all this is. It's basically just an audio journal diary. you know. But hey, like and sub and blah blah blah. If you really, really, really want to, you don't have to. I don't care. But like I said, I highly recommend those two. They're really cool. Um, but I, I, I don't know how to put this without seriously sounding like a complete and utter psycho. I don't want to do this anymore. I mean, yeah, most people don't understand just how bad life can honestly get. I'm stuck. I'm trapped in my own body, in my own mind, with my own mind. Do you have any idea how horrible a place my brain is? I mean, seriously, it is a bad neighborhood. It is a bad world. It is a bad universe in there, and I don't like being in there by myself. And of course, I being an antisocial shut-in, I'm I got nobody. I mean, I got my roommate, but that's another. I'm not getting into that. He helps me as minimalist as he can. I mean, I require a lot of care. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not what you call it. I'm not like. I'm grateful for what he does for me. He keeps me fed. He changes my bandage when he feels like it. Helps me every way possible when he feels like it. It's all good. It's all I deserve. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is hell, honestly. I have these hallucinations a lot. I can't really tell what's real or what's in my head anymore. And I'll get this hallucination where I'm in hell. I mean, literally, it's the same. Nothing changes. You know, I'm nothing changes, but I just feel like I know I'm in hell. I wouldn't wish this life on anybody. My worst I don't have really enemies. I hate everybody equally. Like the human race is fucking garbage. But I wouldn't even risk. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. But I'm laying here playing this. Actually, I actually really enjoy this game. Marvel Cosmic Invasion. It's actually really good. I'm a big fan of beat 'em ups. If you've ever looked at anything in my channel, you'd know that. But yeah, that's about all I got for this video. I'm gonna beat Sauron's ass here, and then I'm gonna call it a day. And if this video turns out halfway decent, I might make another one tomorrow. Who knows? I might have a hobby here. Yo, you got fucked up, dog. Seriously, that was an ass beating. Um, but yeah, I uh, I don't got really much to say anymore. So I'm gonna end this video right here, and we shall pick this up again maybe tomorrow. I don't expect anybody to see or hear this, but if you do, I appreciate you watching. I'm, you know, like I said, if you want entertaining video game content, Megan Yao or Markiplier, go for them. If you want to hear a completely broken, psycho, sociopath, nutbag rant about random crap that how bad life gets, stick with me. I got you back on that one. That's all I got. This is Punisher Snake. Signing off for now. Hope everybody who does, if anybody does, I hope anybody who comes across this video has a better life and a better day and a better world than I do. I wouldn't wish my life on anybody. But, later.